So my dogs have kind of been my laboratory over the years, the living laboratory, and Cody's the one that started the process. She was an incredibly sensitive dog, wicked smart, and I started with her as a correction trainer, and I totally ruined her. I made her the most aggressive dog in the world. So that was where I began with this dog. And so it took me about 2 years into Cody's life to realize that I needed to find a different way of managing and dealing with her and training her to be more acceptable in the public. She was aggressive on leash toward children, toward skateboards, toward bicycles, toward cars, toward people walking, toward what you name it, fill in the blank. Mostly human. She was pretty good with dogs. So we were on this twisted road of correction training, unfortunately, and eventually I got a hold of Don't Shoot the Dog, which started me on a new path. One of the first things I teach people when I work with them is to breathe. Take a breath. And I have them actually breathe so that they can just calm down themselves. It's so tough when I walk into a home and they're so embarrassed by their dog because their dog is being just a dog. It's being a dog that has a lot of confusion and a lot of things going on that are unclear. I really truly believe that unwanted social behaviors in dogs are because they just don't know what else to do. Many of them stay in that puppy mode because they've never been helped out of it. And so that's where a lot of that comes back to. One of them. So this is the beginning of leash work. Can your dog first stand next to you? I do one of two protocols with that. So it's, can my dog stand next to me, stand with me? I will click and drop the treat on the ground. Click, drop the treat on the ground. Remember that whole getting them to sniff the ground, calm down, not be part of that reinforcement. If they're worried, anxious because they're on a leash, click, drop the treat on the ground. So we do that. I'll do that 10 times. Then I'll click and feed right to the dog's face. Click, feed to the dog's face. So that they're learning to be next to my body. I want them to learn that the reinforcement happens here. Not out here, not back there, not over here. It's here. This is where good stuff happens. So if I can't get that first, I'm not going any further. So we'll work on that as needed. Just click, treat. Click, treat. Here's where food happens. Click, treat. From there, then we start to take steps. So this is all done on their equipment. So they're on their leash in your house. So can your dog take one step with you when you're standing together? And I don't care if they're lined up in heel or anything. Can they focus on you enough to watch where your body's going and follow along? So I do a lot of sidestepping. Can you follow? They may be backwards, that's fine. Can I do it this way? You know, those sort of things. I'll step forward. I do a lot of backward steps. Turns, that sort of thing. One step at a time. So let me show you with Willow. So this is taking a step at a time. She doesn't have to be in heel. She just has to pay attention. Okay. There's the click for just stepping with me. And I'm clicking her steps, not mine. She got a little tangled. So I still feet in position. Take a step. So this is building some focus. So she's learning to watch what I'm doing.
Earlier you were talking about playing tug with the dogs. Could you expand on that?
Sure. Thanks for bringing that up. I love tug-of-war for impulsive dogs. I think it's a really interesting way to work on teaching dogs impulse control. And Austin was the perfect example of it. And I teach a lot of our reactive dogs and impulsive dogs how to play tug. It's a fun game, number one. Dogs like to do it, so it's very reinforcing for them. And it burns some energy for them and us, especially if they're a bigger dog. And it teaches them how to calm down between some heightened arousal. That's the big thing that we do. So we basically back chain the training. And if you're not familiar with the term back chaining, we teach the end first because we want that behavior to be the strongest. So in the case of tug, we teach them to drop first. So they're taught to, we shape it, we say, here, look at this tug toy, and if they look at it, we click and treat it. Okay, look at it a little more strongly, click treat. Now maybe touch it with your nose, click treat. Now maybe I'm not going to click that anymore, you need to open your mouth on it, click treat. And we just build until they can grab it in their mouth. So that's our beginning. So they're learning to drop because we're clicking when they do that behavior. So if they take it in their mouth, we click. Well, they have to let go to get their treat. We're not tugging at all to begin with. We're just getting them to take it. So it's kind of a retrieve. Then we begin to build a tiny bit of arousal into that behavior. So we never let go of the tug. That's very important when you're teaching tug to begin with. You have to keep a hold of it. So if you have a dog that is really, into tugging, you want to get tug toys that are longer that your hands aren't going to get in the way. And so you let them take it in their mouth and then all go tug, tug. That easy. Click, treat. So I'm clicking for them actually tugging, have to let go to get their treat. High value treats. So that you never get into a situation where the dog's like, no, tugging's way more fun than food. And you build on that, slowly but surely. Austin, when we first brought him home, one of the earlier things that we taught him to do is play tug for impulse control because of all the biting he did. He was so afraid of hands and people reaching for him, so it helped him learn some arousal management and to have hands near him as a fun thing. So we taught that to the point where, after we built it slowly but surely, I can literally lift him off of the ground because he's short enough I can do that and have him gurring and, going wild and crazy on the end of a tug, and all I have to do is say, okay, and he'll do it down. And he's not shaking and going, give it to me. It's a quiet down because we use relax on the mat in between. So that's when we started doing some work with it. We started doing the mat and then reinforcing mat work. So when we ask him to let go with an okay, then he can just really calm his body down. And that has been a really nice tool for us with dogs that are impulsive. Yes?